Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into the Sunday MLB action. We'll run the board a little bit and talk about kind of yesterday, some of the things I've been picking up on. We're going to go a little kind of off my normal script. I've been picking up on some data trends, some of the deeper metrics within baseball. You talk about exit velocity, just kind of hitters versus pitchers, and kind of all these stats are starting to transpire as we add more data points to what we have building as we look to handicap a 162 game season. This is one where we're going to try get a little off cuff a little bit. Okay, we're going to play some comebacks, and Sundays are a very fun day. They can be for baseball bettors. A lot of times you get series that are either rubber matches or they're in one way or another lopsided. Some teams kind of put their foot off the gas. They don't go get out the brooms. They won't sweep just because it's kind of hard. Your bullpen's exhausted. So Sundays do get kind of interesting, especially early in the season. Some of these series are 4-game slate, 4-game series as well. So we got a couple of dynamics to go over, and that's kind of where it's going to lead me to a couple of best bets that I do have. I actually like this card a lot more than yesterday, to be honest, where we basically broke even. I think we might have came out a little bit ahead with some plus money, but overall, sometimes just a push in the entire day is not a bad thing, especially early on in the season when we're only doing half unit plays. So we'll get into it. I'll tell you guys my best bets. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right down below. Join us here. It's completely free to do so. All I ask, you hit the like button and stick around to the end of the video if you can. Okay, so let's get into the plays. I will show you guys kind of what we have going on in Outlier. That's where we're going to run the board. In the first game that we have, first pitch against the Brewers Yankees. Now, this is something where it's very interesting because we look in kind of where this direction is headed. Yankee Stadium, we've noticed kind of the Yankees having, I don't know if you picked up on some of the bat kind of thing going on where they're using different shaped bats. And yesterday's performance where they, basically set a record for home runs. Judge, I think, had 3 outstanding for over betters, and we're going to kind of go drink some of that water, right? That public drinking fountain that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be betting the over in the Brewers Yankees, and that's kind of where it leads me to my first best bet. Okay, we're not going to overthink this one. Plus money on this one, which is why I was attracted to it. We're going to take over 4.5 team total for the Yanks plus 114. Stroman going against Savali. I really just don't see a way. I personally think that this game, the Brewers get 3 or 4 runs themselves. So I do, and you're going to ask me, hey, why are you not taking the Yankees on the money line or the run line? That's a good question. I do like the Yankees on the run line. That's a plus 155 number. But the best bet for me, let's take a plus 114, kind of mitigate some risk, not having to rely on, a 5-3 victory for the Yankees. I think that we can get some wiggle room here where we have a little bit more variance to allow for that. A plus 114 price is something I'm more comfortable taking than potentially the Yankees on the run line, where say the Yankees win in like a 7-6 battle. Give up some runs late, the backdoor cover by the Brewers. I just want to stay away from that. So I think the safer play is Yankees team total over 4.5. That will be an official play. Next game is one of the early ones, 135. We will have an official play in that. That's where we're going to kind of go with the same mindset. Okay, Philadelphia Phillies going against the Washington Nationals. We have Aaron Nola going against Mitchell Parker with the Nats. Now, the Phillies have been destroying the baseball, 2-0 on the season. And Mitchell Parker, for those of you that do not pay attention, or if you're new to this and you didn't watch last year, got absolutely shellacked going against this Phillies lineup. So we look at some of the numbers. I don't like to bet season to season, full disclosure. I think this is something where I think this is a game where I was kind of a little bit shocked that they're not going to put a total at 9 this early in the season, but this is one that does interest me possibly for a full game total. But I think this is something where it's more so a fade on Mitchell Parker going against his Phillies lineup. And, you guys ever play baseball, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes as a batter, you just have the pitcher's number, okay? And that ball looks like a beach ball. You can't explain it. You can't unthink it. You can't do anything different as a pitcher to combat that either. it just is what it is. So maybe if you want to go total outs for Mitchell Parker, go under, you could possibly do that. But hey, you watch, he'll go out there and throw one hitter through 8. Jokes aside, though, I do see him getting kind of beat up a little bit. So we're going Philadelphia over 4.5 team total runs at a minus 125 price, similar to the Yankees handicap. And actually, it's kind of how I got there is because I do like the Phillies, but it's something where if you've ever bet against the Nationals, it is something weird where you get these series where you see the Phillies are up 2-0 on the weekend series, and then all of a sudden you can't explain it, but sometimes it just baseball has a weird way of working itself out. So I'm going to stay away from that element. We're going to just go Phillies 4.5 team total over. Okay. Next, I want to get down the board a little bit. Baltimore Blue Jays. We've seen a lot of totals in that one. It's been kind of an interesting series. I think I'm more stock up on the Orioles. I think a lot of people thought with the absence of Corbin Burns that they were, essentially all but written off, and that it was basically up to the Yankees or Red Sox to win the AL East. I don't know. I'm just still in the camp where the Orioles have a great lineup. I'm not ready to kind of write them off. 2-1 on the season. I know that they're looking to kind of take down the Blue Jays on the road to take a commanding 3-1 kind of presence. And the Blue Jays getting off to a slow start. Not really looking for too much out of them. Will they trade Vlad? That's kind of the big storyline of the season. But as we look at this game, it wouldn't shock me one way or another if either one of these teams won. And that's kind of why I think this one's priced accordingly. Road team plus money, short price, and the Blue Jays minus 126 home favorites. So don't like the pitching matchup. We're going to stay away from this game. Even on the totals, I just think this could be a getaway game. And I just don't want anything to do with it. Okay. Giants Reds, that's an interesting one to talk about. But no clear indication with that one. We got the basically another pick'em. I kind of stay away from these pick'em games unless I have a clear advantage within some kind of thing behind the scenes going on. But within the Giants and Reds, as we look at kind of their 1-1, this is kind of where you get one of those grudge matches. Okay, it's a coin flip game. We'll see who takes the lead. Personally, if you want to kind of get into this, I would lean towards the Giants here at a minus 118 price, albeit they are on the road. That's just kind of where I'm at within just a little small lean, but nothing that I would ever play. Okay. Rockies Rays, Feltner gets to start going against Taj Bradley. It's hard not to back the Rays here. I'm just not in love with the minus 1.5. I don't quite frankly trust their bats enough early on in the season. Although you could get plus 110 on the run line. That's one I'm going to stay away. Okay. Pirates Marlins. We're going to look into this one for a total. Okay, that's kind of what jumps off the board at me as we look at this game. You see the total set at 8. I would go under the 8, minus 115 in the Pirates Marlins. Meyer pitching for the Marlins, great young arm. I really do like him. And then you do get Heaney for the Pirates. We'll see how much he has left in the tank. But I do think the Marlins, they might go 3-1 to kick off the 2025 campaign. Definitely something that does interest me, but I think the best money you could spend on this game would be going under the total of 8 that we've seen a little bit of buy up as a 7.5. Just seemed to kind of is teetering back between 7.5 and 8 as that best number available. Okay. Guardians Royals, another one. Kind of divisional kind of rubber match that we get on a Sunday. Tanner Beebe, hopefully he doesn't eat Chipotle today and misses his start like he did for the season opener. Going against Michael Wacha. This is a game where, it's seemingly looking like these Royals Guardians games are going to be battles throughout the course of the season. A lot of small kind of margin. You're going to get a lot of 3-2 games, 2-1 games, 4-3 games, potentially a couple ones that would be outliers and be lopsided, but down the stretch, Guardians, Royals, I'm not ready to write off the Guardians. Not looking forward to kind of, the prospects that they're not going to win the AL Central. I think that the number is way too high, way too long. Almost $3 you can find for the Guardians to win the AL Central. I think that's just some good value early on in the season. Right now, the big story with them is that their bullpen is kind of letting them down. Arguably the best bullpen in baseball, returning kind of full strength for that matter. And just, yesterday kind of just blew that one as the Royals were able to take down the Guardians at home. So this is kind of one where, unfortunately, I got to go with the Guardians. I just think it's too much value in basically a pick 'em game, minus 102. I think this is kind of telling too by the odds makers that they're not plus money road dogs. So a little bit more respect, I think, that they're getting in the marketplace. So I would lean Indians minus 102 if I was going to bet this game. But like I said, a lot of these Sunday games are coin flips. They're just up in the air. They're not really an edge. And I don't just take games to take them. So that's kind of where there's really no edge statistically or by the numbers to take to take a coin flip on a Sunday afternoon. Okay. Angels White Sox. That's been an interesting series to handicap. We do get Kakanowicz for the Angels. Um, that's always a strong fade, but I'm not really going to fade any pitcher when the White Sox lineup is going against them. So this is a stay away game as well. In this spot. Okay. Twins Cardinals. Bailey O'Bear getting the nod here. Twins are 0-2. I would apply the same logic we did yesterday, albeit we lost the bet. I think that the Twins minus 125, just to kind of not get swept, is where I would be at with this handicap. And that's basically how I would do it. Okay. So shout out to the Cardinals, 2-0 start. Not writing them off just yet. A lot of people are. But the Twins here, I think they get the job done here, minus 125 on the money line. All right. Red Sox Rangers. DeGrom, we get to see him in action for the Rangers as they look to go 3-1 against the Red Sox. I'm going to stay away from this one because I want to see DeGrom kind of take his first start, see how effective he is. No clear cut indication. If anything, if you want to get a little risky in this one, maybe fading him, maybe going under his total outs. Maybe he doesn't have as long as a leash as we think. That's kind of how I would look at this game. Outside of taking that prop, I probably wouldn't touch a side, albeit you do get the Boston Red Sox plus 166 on the money line. Fairly attractive, but I think that the Rangers are live for some postseason futures action. In the AL that I think is kind of really up for grabs. I know we get the Dodgers on one side, but I think that this is one that I would look at it as a kind of a plus money value play if you want to take some Red Sox plus 165 money line. If you want to take the Red Sox minus 132 on the run line plus 1.5, that's also an option. But I think that if you were going to attack this game, maybe go against the grain a little bit, going under DeGrom total outs would be my play. Okay. Next, we do have two more games that we are going to have plays in. Cubs, Diamondbacks. I'm not going to bet this game. Cubs are 2-3. Really regretting that I did not take Shota Imanaga yesterday with the Cubbies to win. I just didn't back their lineup. Okay, the Diamondbacks, after having like a 7-1 win against the Cubs or 7-2, whatever it was, I really had a strong play with them in that game, and I wanted to just kind of take a step back, kind of see how the Cubs kind of settle in. And that's kind of where it would lean me to, in this spot. I do like the Diamondbacks, but I just don't, quite frankly, like the pitching matchup on both sides. So it's kind of a coin flip for me in that regard. So I would back the Diamondbacks if anything, but I'm going to stay away from this one, minus 125. Okay. And then the final two games on the card that we will have plays in both of these. The first one on the board, you can see at the top of your screen, is the Oakland or the for the time being, the Sacramento Athletics going against the Seattle Mariners. Brian Wu gets the nod. One of my favorite pitchers going against Sears for the Athletics. The Athletics 2-1 on the season. This is going to go kind of in my handicap where we do favor the Mariners at home, not at a minus 165 price. So what I'm going to do here in this spot, you could take Brian Wu, 4 strikeouts, and you can parlay that with the Seattle Mariners on the money line, and that pays pretty close to plus money. So some at ESPN Bet, you will actually get plus money. If you want to even go up to 5 strikeouts, I don't mind that, make it a little bit more juicy. But that's going to be a same game parlay that I will feature as a best bet. We're going Brian Wu, 4 strikeouts, 5 if you're risky. Parlay that with the Seattle Mariners money line going against the Athletics, looking to kind of get back to 500, 2-2, splitting the 4-game series against the Athletics. Okay, that will be an official play. All right, last game, Braves Padres. This is just going to be a gut check play for me. Really no kind of deep analytics behind this one. Smith Schwarber or Schauber, however you pronounce it, going against Nick Pivetta for San Diego. The Braves starting out the season 0-3. Okay, I'm going to take them here on the money line plus 112. Simply put, I just think that they're not going to get a 4-game sweep. And that's basically the handicap. We're just going to bet against a 4-game sweep here. So give me the Braves here plus money, plus 112. I know the pitching matchup kind of sets up for the San Diego Padres in this spot. The Padres lineup has looked really impressive. I think that what it comes down to, though, is Smith, Shawver. Yet last year against the Padres did not do really exceedingly well. He kind of struggled, honestly. But in the spring, he looked really good. So give me the Braves here on the money line plus 112 as my final official play. Okay. So that about wrap it up. This was a little bit longer of a rundown. I'll give you guys a recap quickly. For those of you following along, we will go my 4 best bets of the day. We're going Philadelphia, team total over 4.5 runs, minus 125. The Atlanta Braves on the money line, plus 112. We're going to take the Yankees team total over 4.5 at plus 114. And also Seattle Mariners money line, parlay that with some Brian Wu strikeouts at a essentially minus 106 even money price at that mark at a same game parlay. And those will be my 4 best bets in Major League Baseball for Sunday, March 30th. Okay. Appreciate you guys following along. Good luck with your tickets. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Good luck. Cash some tickets. Peace.